Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, May 24th, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. The annual town meeting adjourned Monday evening when town meeting members voted to pass the remaining articles 9 through 15. Town meeting members discussed Article 9 for the majority of the 3-hour meeting, debating the additional budget if the override passes on June 3rd. Town meeting member Helen Abdallah Donahue made an alternate motion to the article lowering the override dollar amount. After a conversation on the motion, it eventually failed and the original dollar amount was brought back in front of the body. A number of speakers then spoke for and against the article, which eventually passes with the 2/3 vote. The remaining articles 10 through 15 were all passed with a majority vote. All 3 town meetings are now available on the NCM Video on Demand or the NCM YouTube page.
Thanks, Brian. We have a special segment to bring you. Earlier today, Norwood High School held their annual Memorial Day Assembly. Students gathered in the auditorium to pay respect to the Norwood residents who gave their lives during war. This year, Principal Hugh Galligan made a special presentation.
Often lost is the story behind these young men who left Norwood High School to defend our country and to defend our freedom. When Mr. McDonough left to serve his country, he was still in the midst of his studies here and had not yet finished his coursework here at NHS. When he lost his life, that also ended the possibility of him returning to graduate. It is with that in mind that we thought it was appropriate to change the last part of that story this morning. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. McDonough's nephew, Mr. Richie Wall, retired Norwood Police Department officer, up to the podium for a moment. Mr. Wall, it is with great pride and gratitude and honor that I present this diploma from the class of 2019 to Mr. Thomas F. McDonough. I know I said refrain from applause, but I think it's appropriate at this time.
Oh, a tremendous ceremony, absolutely. I can't describe it. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's between pride and sadness, and I can't thank everybody enough for this wonderful display of my uncle's life, and this is quite the surprise, getting his diploma, 88, 89 years later or whatever it was, the poor guy. But I learned so much of my own family history that I didn't know before, and that's all because of Jack and Mark and what they did today to pull this together and not only celebrate my uncle, but I never realized there were 70 other men in Norwood, servicemen that died in World War II from Norwood, which is, to me, is just amazing. It's considering the population was only 15,000, 71 people died, 71 neighbors, friends. It's remarkable. It truly is when you think about it.
What a great presentation. Well done by everyone involved. Now back to you, Brian.
Last Saturday, the Norwood Police Department, along with Norwood Bank and the Bike Depot, teamed up for their annual Bike Safety Day. Parents and children flocked to the event in the Norwood Bank parking lot. The Bike Depot offered free bike repairs and tune-ups for all the children. All the labor was donated by the Bike Depot. Parts and supplies were donated by Norwood Bank. Another popular part of the event was the helmet station, which was run by the Norwood Police Department.
David White, who's an attorney from Boston, brings us cases of helmets and gives them to the department so that we can give them to kids who don't have helmets. So all you have to do is show up with your bike at Bike Safety Day. If you don't have a helmet, we'll give you a helmet. The officers are fitting the helmets to the kids. If there's something about your bike, it's a little wobbly, it needs a little bit of attention, the chain's too loose, the guys at the Bike Depot will throw it right up on a rack and they'll fix it and you'll be good as new. So it's a real good event. It's real popular. We get a lot of people here on a Saturday when we do Bike Safety Day.
This is a great event that is put on by the 3 organizations with a very clear goal.
Obviously, the overarching goal is focus on safety. Just even by having an event like this, a Bike Safety Day, it causes people to acknowledge that, well, biking is fun, safety is really paramount. We want them to pay attention to that. So the officers will give them some tips and talk to them about how to be safe on your bike, and we'll make sure that every kid leaves here with a helmet.
Thank you to the Norwood Police Department, Norwood Bank, and the Bike Depot for the great community event. Stay tuned after this break for a special recognition and for this week's Living Local. Welcome back. Tuesday night, the Zoning Board of Appeals acknowledged Barbara Kinter for her 19 years of service to the board. Members of the ZBA, Board of Selectmen, and other town employees and officials were at the OCC to celebrate all the work Barbara has done for the town.
Barbara has served on the board for 19 years faithfully. She's been a great steward to volunteer her time, and she's just been an unbelievable presence on the board. Many of you know her from the concerts on the Common as well. In previous years, she was affiliated with Bach Enterprises down on Route 1, and also years gone by, she was involved with the Norwood Hospital with major fundraising down there. And as I was speaking with Attorney Paul Easy, Associate Member Easy on the board just a minute ago, Barbara was instrumental in her tenure at the Concerts on the Common, raising over $500,000 for that group that puts on the Common, the concerts over here at the gazebo. So we're going to miss her greatly.
Thank you, Barbara, for 19 years of service to the ZBA and the town of Norwood. You may have heard of the Balch School or the Cleveland School, but what you may not know is there's a sandwich for that. Let's head down Route 1 and take a lunch break at the Lunchbox Deli for this week's Living Local.
Hi, this is Kevin Ciccone. I'm from the Lunchbox Deli in Norwood. I'm the general manager here.
Located at 859 Boston and Providence Highway in Norwood, Lunchbox Deli is a not-your-average deli that was born out of a love for food and local connections.
So my parents had the idea to start a restaurant in Norwood. They've been living here for over 20 years, and my father actually, his family used to own a restaurant in Westwood, and so he was kind of familiar with the industry growing up. And then they had the idea, it was when me and my two sisters were in college. My parents had the idea, my mom was at home, and basically they had a vision. They saw the vision to make a lunch place with, where they thought they could deliver like awesome food. Our motto was the best thing on sliced bread. And so basically they just had a vision, they saw us, they found a space, and they went for it.
With lunchboxes posted all throughout the restaurant, Lunchbox Deli's Blast from the Past theme gives customers a nostalgic dine-in experience.
Kind of that romanticism where we're thinking about, we want to kind of, the lunchboxes, they're not in style anymore. They were probably popular. When I was a kid, we had the plastic ones, and the metal ones were maybe when I was like real young, but it's kind of just like going back to the idea of making things the way they used to be, and not skimping out on quality. And so that's sort of it. We like the idea of the lunchbox. We serve mainly lunch here. So that's kind of, we like that idea, and it just made sense. So we think it's kind of cool. We got the decor all around the store too. We got lunch boxes, and everyone loves when they come in, they find their old lunch box on the wall. They're like, oh, I used to have that one, and it's kind of fun.
A local trademark of the Lunchbox Deli is their signature sandwiches, which are named after schools in the Norwood School District.
So that was just kind of, we just thought it was kind of cool, you know what I mean? Kind of like with a community feel. We're kind of a small. We have kind of an old mom and pop shop, kind of like a blast from the past, I guess, kind of like the way things used to be. That's how we kind of make our food, and so that's kind of we just thought it would be cool.
Customers come for the nostalgic atmosphere and friendly service, but most importantly, the quality food.
The best seller is definitely the Italian, which is an awesome sandwich. It's a real Italian. We make them fresh every day. And it's got the Italian cold cuts. We got prosciutto. We got one of the old-fashioned prosciutto slicers where you do it by hand. It's really cool. That's one of my favorites. The Balch Turkey Club is also really popular. That's just a classic, turkey club, mayo, lettuce, tomato, bacon, and that comes on a braided roll, which is awesome. Our braided roll is really good. It's very popular. And then my third, this one's not the most popular. This is one of my favorites, the Cleveland. It's the fresh sliced prosciutto. We slice it for every sandwich, mozzarella, basil, and balsamic on a braided roll. And that one's really good too. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, we got a Facebook page. We're working on an Instagram. We don't have that yet, but expect that soon. And our website's pretty good. You can check us out. We have a mailing list too, so if you want to sign up for like special deals, you can sign up on our mailing list. It's a good way.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government. Welcome back to Norwood News. The Board of Selectmen held an executive session at 6:30 with Town Council Tuesday night to discuss ongoing litigation regarding Boston Executive Helicopter. The board went into open session briefly to discuss new business. The next Board of Selectmen meeting will be Tuesday, May 28th. Wednesday night, the school committee met at the Prescott School as part of their Traveling School Committee series. The night began with a presentation from 3 Prescott students. Ariana Bletzer, Reagan Hart, and Shay Morad appeared before the committee to present their 3rd grade wax museum project.
Our teachers gave us each a packet with topics to take notes on. We used the information from the book we read and wrote it down on our packets. Some topics included childhood, family, why we were important, how we contribute to society, hardships or obstacles that shaped our lives. Thank you. If you've never been to the 3rd grade wax museum, I think you would love it. Thank you for watching.
Prescott Principal Brian Riley represented all elementary schools in the upcoming handbook presentation. With Wednesday night being the last meeting before the June 3rd vote, Dr. Dave Thompson gave an update on the next steps for the school committee for either result starting June 4th.
They did notify them, and the staff know. Teachers who were going to be reduced in force if the override does not pass have already been notified. They were notified last Friday, so they know that the override does not pass. They would not have a job in the Norwood Public Schools. The elementary principals have been planning for specials and service deliveries in the chance that the override does not pass, what they would be, and we would have to advertise for those people to do that. The elementary schools have also been planning the internal moves. We need to empty classrooms in order to fill and push the kindergarten in. The other path, basically, should the override pass, there's going to be basically going to be 2 sets of postings. There are postings right now that are put up there, and again, they always say, you know, anticipating funding, but those posts that are up there now are for retirements or resignations of positions that we will need to have no matter what road we go down.
The school committee is scheduled to meet next on June 5th. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening in your schools.
I'm your host, Krista McDonald.
Thanks for joining me for another update.
There was a hard-fought battle at Murray Field.
Everybody you know and you like and you pal around with and you hang out with is here.
Your home.
Your home.
Your home. Your home.
Your home for all things Norwood.
Welcome back. Now we are going to go across the studio to our school's reporter, Tim Rose, to learn all about what is happening in the Norwood School District this week.
Hi guys, I'm Tim Rose, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. The Willett Early Childhood Center and Little Mustangs Preschool Academy enjoyed a family cultural night this week. Families from both schools came together in the Willett cafeteria to share food, artifacts, and displays that reflect their cultural heritage. Over 20 families participated and 13 countries from around the world were represented. Several families shared performances including oration, songs, dance and drama, and Miguel's grandfather on the concertina. Let's take a listen. It was heartwarming to see families connecting with one another to learn about the different cultures that make up the Norwood community. The Willett and LMPA are so happy families from around the world have made Norwood their home and are proud to be a part of their children's lives. In preparation for the Willett LMPA Family Cultural Night, the students at LMPA have been celebrating multiculturalism and embracing diversity. Students and families completed handouts stating other languages they speak at home and sharing how to say hello in those languages. Completed forms were displayed around the building, and teachers encouraged students to practice the various greetings. Miss Michelle visited each classroom to read stories related to the diversity theme and had students pick cards featuring flags of different countries, helped them locate that country on a globe, and then taught students how to say hello in the language of that country. Several students volunteered to be featured in a video saying hello in their home languages.
Namaste. Kamusta. Hola. Aligocha, aligocha. Oi, creech. Oi. Hello. Welcome. Bonjour. Lasso. Yee-haw. Ciao. Namaskar.
Fourth grade students at the Callahan put their math skills to the test by working on taco trucks. Perimeter, area, and guacamole were all explored in this creative and engaging project. Students were asked to design a taco truck, including its layout, both inside and out, the physical structures within the truck, and its menu. Rooms 1, 2, and 3 all participated in this mouth-watering activity. The Callahan musicians had a great time performing at Norwood High this week. They got to play on the big stage, and it looks like they also played around backstage. I'm sure they're looking forward to being a part of the Norwood High School music program. At the Cleveland School, the teachers and students had the pleasure of listening to the annual spring concert performed by their classmates in grades 3, 4, and 5. The instrumental event was conducted by Mr. Larry Smith and Miss Monique Lariviere. Let's take a look. Well, that's it for school news. For more information about the Norwood school system, please check the website, Facebook, and watch Norwood Community Media. Now let's go to Brian Dunn with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. Welcome into another edition of the Sports Update. We have one team thus far that has clinched their spot in the tournament. We'll tell you who that is in just a second. And we'll tell you who's going on to play field hockey beyond Norwood High School. Let's get right into it. Over at Westwood High School this past Monday, the Mustangs sent athletes to the TVL track and field meet. Some good competition all around, and next up is the MIAA Division III East Championship at Merrimack College on Sunday, May 26th. On the turf, both lacrosse teams ran into some powerhouse programs in Westwood and Dover-Sherborne this week. An important matchup coming up for the boys team this Friday, May 24th at Milton High School. It's the Mustangs' final game of the regular season. They must win that game to qualify for the MIAA tournament. Boys tennis picked up a big-time victory over Norton 5-0. The girls unfortunately did not favor as well as they fell over Sherborne 5-0. Volleyball's most recent matchup was a W. They beat Bellingham this past Wednesday to improve to 4-14 on the year. Baseball has completed the long climb back to 500 with a win over Dover-Sherborne earlier this week. With a chance to qualify for the tournament, they will play Walpole under the lights at Balch Field Tuesday, May 28th. First pitch is set for 7 p.m. And the big news out of this week is softball has officially punched their ticket. A strong season overall has given them an early seat at the tournament table, qualifying with a win over Dover-Sherborne. So to recap where we stand heading into the home stretch, softball is in, and teams such as boys lacrosse and baseball are still very much in the hunt for a spot in the MIAA tournament. Stay tuned to our social media for updates on broadcast scheduling for the tournament as they come. And last but not least, as the seniors prepare for upcoming graduation, we have another athletic commitment to announce. Rose Campbell will be taking her talents to Westfield State University, where she will join the field hockey program there. She signed her NLI earlier this week. Congratulations, Rose, and good luck. And that'll do it for me. As always, for updates on sports, you can check out norwoodmustangs.com or check out NCM on social media. Thank you, and I'll talk to you next week.
Welcome back. If you were driving past the gazebo last Friday evening, you might have seen the NHS students getting ready to head into Boston for their senior prom. NCM was there to capture all the memories being made.
We're back, and we are here with
Eric Danahy.
And Michaela Jordan.
and two seniors at Norwood High School that have had a pretty nice career, I would say. Any favorite memory from the high school you want to share tonight?
The whole thing. I enjoyed my whole time at Norwood. Really great time.
That's awesome. How about you, Michaela?
I want to say I really love performing with the madrigals. That was lots of fun, just when we get to sing together.
All right, now I have to make a special request. So Eric actually lives on my street, and I'm so proud that he's going. I love the Saunders Road people, and maybe we'll see them later. So, the dress, Michaela, where'd we get it?
I got it at Sherry Hill.
And how many dresses did you try on?
One.
One and done? That's awesome. That's
Would
great.
you mind turning around and giving us a little?
Oh, I'm glad we saw the back.
Eric, you can do the same. Yeah, make a little turn. Absolutely. Handsome as can be.
And did you tell him what to wear?
He decided on gray, but I did send him the color of my dress.
And I think I see the sun coming out,
Here
which is going to
comes
be
the sun.
awesome.
Yeah.
I hope all the students had a wonderful time at prom. Thank you to everyone that helped to make it happen. The Norwood High School students weren't the only ones celebrating prom season. The Norwood Senior Center, in collaboration with Norwood High School Student Council, held a senior prom of their own on Saturday. The NHS students decorated, took photos, played music, and honored a king and queen. Both the seniors and students dressed up, took limos, and danced the afternoon away. Kerry McCarthy, Executive Director of the Senior Center, thanks the NHS Student Council and especially their teacher, Kate Curtin. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.